Pardon me?
You ready to rock and roll?
Yeah. So don't be alarmed. I even like to take notes while we're talking.
Cool.
I just like to generally observe life and let things come up. I mean, the difference between a writer and a successful writer is a successful writer writes things down.
I get you. Yeah.
It seems so silly and juvenile, but it's actually the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone talks. To go from vision to execution is just like, yeah.
Did you ever use that then? Like your notes and stuff like that? Do you ever think back of what was said or something like that? So, you know what, I might be able to use this into a song or...
I do a lot of just open and look. I have hundreds of these books.
Okay.
And I'll have things labeled with different letters around, like O, T, G, I. That'll be like insight, joke, truth, lesson. And then I can just kind of flip through really quickly and see, like, W, there's wisdom, there's an insight, there's a, and it's just like, and it just really, it's also a great way to inform a goldfish memory.
Right.
Where it's like, if it's like every day I wake up, the computer has no operating system, and I have to choose it every single day.
Very cool.
So I use this to choose. I use this to choose the thoughts, that choose the words, that choose the actions that put me into places like this.
Awesome.
And actually, that's what is the complete. That's what informs our whole album. Our new album, New World Alphabet.
Okay.
It's completely informed by this process.
Awesome, man. That's a very innovative approach. You know what I mean? It's like you see somebody sit down and they'll do a little writing and that's that. But for you to go ahead and take this whole process of what you're doing here and turn that into the album is very unique.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a couple. There's different ways of looking at writing. And I don't know if you've ever interviewed any writers, like novel writers.
No. Musicians, actors.
So funny story. We're playing at the Danforth Music Hall.
Okay.
And they're having a security meeting. This was for our 6 shows in 6 days in Toronto.
Right.
Which was just like exhilarating.
Oh, I bet.
The notion was incredible. Going on tour in your own city, 6 nights in a row, sleeping in your own bed, but it's like you're on tour.
Yeah.
Bizarre. We're standing there. There's about 30 security guards, and everyone, bartenders, are having a big meeting in the lobby. And I'm like, can you believe how much GST is paid on my insecurity? Like, look at all of this. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, my lack of self-worth is employing all of these people. Like,
right.
They get to feed their families and they get to go on vacations. I'm like, I'm so glad that I've, like, that Frederick Nietzsche quote, that which does not destroy you will only make you stronger.
Right.
I'm like, I'm so glad that life threw all of this at me and that all of these other people are able to benefit from this process that I am going through now to, get right with myself. And so I brought this all up because we were talking about our 6 shows in 6 days, and I was talking about how I just went in a big circle.
The book, you were jotting down the security meeting.
Yeah.
Better look in your book and see what you have.
Sorry, I just went on an association trip. The meeting, the lobby, the security, the step back, the 6 and the 6, 6 shows in 6 days, the goldfish, memory, the words, the writer. Okay, I got it. So it's understanding what you do and what you do best and what other people do best. And when you're critically comparing yourself constantly to other people, it's because you're not looking at it through the right filter of, like, that's what they do, that's not what you do. So in this way, it's like, I understand that I write fortune cookies, I don't write novels. Okay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so as soon as I was able to understand that, I was able to understand it and then document it properly. And when I figured out how to do that, it just was this relief, because I wasn't trying to be something else.
Right.
right? And I think that when people talk about it as like what being mature is, or what it's like, for me, being mature is sort of like, it's more about the things that fall away from you than the things that you add, because when you feel at peace with yourself and you start to feel this stillness, this feeling of satisfaction, this relief, this contentment, it's more of the things that you let fall away,
Okay.
right? And that's what this album is. It's been this process of like just having these insights, having these things come up that are just letting these things fall away.
Very cool. Very cool.
And all I ever wanted to do was wake up in the morning and just like feel joy, not be like, what is wrong with me? Why? Why? When is the mothership coming to take me off this planet,
right.
which I cannot relate to? It just makes me feel like I just want to just be in a closet, and I don't understand why is everyone so mean to each other? Why does everyone hurt each other so much?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it like this here? Why is it so heavy here? Why does it hurt so much here?
Right.
And then...
Definitely. I totally understand what you're going with. It's got to be an interesting process for you. I mean, you guys started off as group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From doing a manual labor, ho-hum, everyday job.
Yeah.
And having your kind of thinking, you know what I mean? This must be an amazing journey for you to get where you are today.
Yeah, well, it's the whole, you can take the boy out of the city, but you can't take the city out of the boy, or the man boy, whoever.
I get you.
You can't take a masculine version, young or old, out of the like when we're out here on the road, it's like I like militantly clean the van. I take everything out, put everything back in. When we're in the dressing room, I move all the furniture around and I organize it, tidy up. It's just like that instinct to work is just always there. And I love to work. I love to work hard. And so when I was roofing, I just loved to work. And I could be with these thoughts, and I could be with music, and it just allowed that little small part of my mind that likes to worry and ruminate and those kinds of things, focus on little tiny things, let bigger things,
right,
come through.
Definitely. And your work ethic definitely shows. I mean, especially the process that you guys did with this. You mentioned the 6 shows, 6 days there. That was very innovative. I mean, you don't see people doing that, especially being in one city. I mean, Toronto, don't get me wrong, is a fucking amazingly huge city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for you to be able to still pull that off anyway, you know what I mean? I mean, like 6 shows, 6 days, and still be selling out those shows throughout the entire 6-day process is unheard of. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't really see a band unless you're in Vegas and it's a residency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're a different venue, different day, every single day, 6 days. And then you guys go ahead and do pop-up shows.
Yeah.
That was awesome, man. I mean, how did you guys come up with that idea?
It's as we were discussing earlier. I'm of the same ilk as you, where our career has stretched from like before there was Facebook,
right,
into now where we've seen music sales go into downloading, go into torrents, and then go into iTunes stores, and now kind of moving into streaming and So we've seen everything change, and we just there's so many positive things about social media. There's so many positive things about what you're able to do with technology and the information you have. But everything gets to a point where it goes a bit too far, and then it kind of swings back to the middle. So when we decided to do those pop-up shows, it was just like, let's go be real people. you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
sure.
like, let's go and like, here, like, this is my guitar, touch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't what I had for breakfast, like in 1,000 megapixel form. It's just like, here, like, this is the guitar pick that makes the sound that you hear coming out of your phone.
It's definitely bigger than 140 characters.
Yeah, yeah, and just like go and have a tangible experience, like have a real feeling, and that type of excitement and enthusiasm, that's what we live for. I mean, we came from sports backgrounds, from athletics, and from that enthusiasm and that excitement. And when you're watching sports, you never know what's going to happen, and there's like an anticipation and an excitement. So when we were just rolling up and just like, we're opening up the compartment and we had a smoke machine, the smoke pours out and the lights are flashing, it's just like, whoa!
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that had been a unique experience for the fans as well, for just all of a sudden, what's this? What's food truck? What's going on here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you guys pop out and you guys are doing a set.
Yeah, good times.
Now, the album got released yesterday, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
What made you pick the day?
Ooh. It actually had nothing to do with it being Friday the 13th and a full moon. Maybe more about the full moon, less about the day.
Cool. So you guys, wasn't like a superstitious type thing?
No, it actually, it just worked out with
Timing and just how it happened to be?
Everyone comes back from Christmas, ready for. I went away to a monastery for New Year's Eve.
Okay.
I always dreamed about doing it. I always dreamed about going out into the woods on a retreat, being able to reflect on last year and just like let everything go and just like sit there and imagine like, if I could make this year exactly the way I would want it to be, how would I make it? And have the space to do that in. So I was able to set those intentions. And then we're able to walk into this new year with a fresh start with this album right now.
Did you go to Tibet, or was that in Toronto? Or?
That was actually up north of Peterborough.
Okay.
Yeah, up there. There's all kinds of neat. If you start looking around, there's all kinds of retreat centers and things like that. I value that. I realize that like I must have been a monk 1,000 times. I just live in a room with like a bed and a desk. That's all I have, and my books.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I go away to like I don't identify myself as any one religion, but there's something that's valued about retreats, whether it's a Christian monastery or a Buddhist monastery, and you get a room with a bed and a desk in it. And I remember reading about Albert Einstein. He had a quote. He said, "A bed, a desk, a chair, a lamp, a violin, and a notebook. What more does man need?" And I was like, "Wow, good call, man." I'm like, that's just, and that's why like people are like, "Man, it must be so tough on the road, like living on the road." And it's like, no, it's just like, for me, it's like being in a monastery. It's like I have a few clothes in my bag, I have my book, I have my guitar, and I just get this bed and a desk, and that's all I need.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Definitely. It is a job, but it is one of the best jobs in the world.
Well, and it's interesting because it's just like I'll just be quite forthright. It's like I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, and I'm celibate. And I'm celibate. I choose to be celibate because I don't have the emotional wherewithal to. Not yet. It's still in development. That I'm still trying to understand myself enough to, like, that's just a part of the human instinct that I don't want to say that I'm trying to transcend it like it's a bad thing. It's just that I'm really taking a really close, hard look at my motives and my instincts, and like what are things, like, and what's the root of them? What is like why? So I've sort of taken everything away. Taking everything away and just observing it like I'm a scientist observing something in an experiment. Except I'm the experiment. My consciousness is the science. I'm just I'm seeing what's going on.
Now, when did you start this process? I mean, you weren't celibate your whole life, right?
No, it's been 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And then you just went ahead and decided to go with.
I had done a ton of drugs.
Okay.
I've been on like a huge bender, and I basically was like, it's kind of boring, and I don't feel fulfilled, and I feel pretty empty, and I'm really ashamed of myself, and I don't call my mom enough, and I'm not close to anybody, and I don't even know how I feel about anything really. So how about I try something else?
Right. Very cool.
And just asking and just setting that intention has just, all of these doors have opened. And I think that the most valuable thing that I'm experiencing right now is just the lack of judgment about other people, about their choices, and about understanding what's right for me. It even applies to our band, right? It's like I play acoustic guitar with a DJ, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people hate what we do because it's inherent in human nature to hate what we don't understand. That's what we automatically do. And I feel really liberated to be able to, be with other people and know what's good for me. And I'm not preaching to them. I'm not trying to convince you to do what I do. I'm just doing what I do because I wasn't satisfied with my life with the way I was doing it before, and now I'm doing this. You know what I mean? Like, there's times where I've realized when I've tried to change things in my life or try to do different things that when I was talking to people, I was talking at them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even realize it, that I was talking at you. Like, man, I go to monasteries, and it's like I'm trying to, like, convince you, like, throw my energy at you. Like, you need to do this, too. And it's just like, no, I'm cool, man. Like,
right.
I'm fine. So, that like, what is maturity? What is wisdom? What is growing up? It's like all these little checkpoints along the way. And it's like, I'm having this weird feeling now in life, and I think it's called happiness.
Awesome. Good for you, man. Now, your newest single, Are You With Me?
Who's With Me?
Who's With Me?
Yeah.
Very uplifting track, man.
Yes,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? It's not what you hear this day on the radio. You know what I mean? It's, all the negativity that's out there and all the hate that's going on there. This is a track that's actually like, are you with me? You know what I mean?
Well, this is whatever it takes for you to get there, to that place where you feel this complete, it's just this. I'm just sitting in it right now. It's like there's this process and there's this path. It's just like who's with me? Like, let's try out joy.
Right.
Like, let's try it out together. However it is that you get there, and however it is that I get there, like, let's try it out. Like, let's be honest with each other. Let's, like, take a look at how my parents treated me and how their parents treated them, and let's end anything that wasn't in alignment with honesty and joy and creativity and love and beauty, and anything that came from like hurt and jealousy and insecurity. And it's just like, let's work it out. Let's end it. Like, let's be the generation that ends it, because we have a chance. Because guess what? If you don't, you're just going to do that to your kids, because that's how it works.
For sure.
And that's like, here we go. Like, and now all of a sudden, I get to do with a microphone, and there gets to be a radio and a computer, and I can share this experience. And there's so many other people having this experience, and it's just the nature of critical mass. It's the nature of synergy. When lots of people start connecting with the same types of frequencies, it amplifies it automatically.
So it's almost going to be like a euphoric experience for you then, when the crowd is here, they're digging it, and they're singing the words right to you, and everyone's in that same state of mind.
Yeah, it's it's interesting, because I wonder this a lot. I would really love to know, from artist to artist, from performer to performer, is how many people let it come back to them. When I was just talking to you about talking at you,
Right.
right? Like let's just face it. Like, a lot of people don't know how to feel love, myself included.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever it is that made you feel unworthy, it's a big one. North America is full of unworthiness. We feel so unworthy. We feel like failures, even like no matter, like way down. We don't even know it. It's this undercurrent. I'm not good enough. I'm a failure. I'm inadequate. I'm unworthy. And we reach and we reach and we reach, and so all of a sudden I'm up here and there's 1,000 people going, ah, and I just hear, but it's still, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm still a failure. And that's why it was my whole story, my whole history of why that is. And it's just like, that's falling away, letting it come in, letting it go out. And I really hope that, a lot of beautiful people, a lot like performers and artists and singers who have that experience of that unworthiness. I really hope that more and more that they can let that come in and heal them too, because it's just a testament. We're in this room almost creating like a womb together.
Right.
Where everyone's here because they felt the same way. I mean,
definitely.
And they're letting you know that, like, oh, like, thank you for helping me come to peace with my unworthiness. And like, accept it. Accept. And like, it's funny because I say this, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've stood on stage holding a gold record like this over my head because someone handed it to me at an award show, and it's still going. Like, everyone knows this is a fraud. I hope you know that. You're not good enough.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I get that, but you do have to realize, though. I mean, like, your fans definitely go all out for you. That hat, for an example.
Yeah.
I was given to you.
Yes, it was. But this is what I'm saying to you that's so beautiful, is that I'm so happy because I'm getting to do this, where now more and more I can feel that connection.
Mm-hmm.
I can accept it. I'm here with it. I just stopped wearing sunglasses while I performed because I had to close my eyes the entire show. Because I was just like, if I opened my eyes and I looked at people, it was just like, everybody knows.
Right.
Everyone knows I'm not good enough. And I just have to almost pretend I'm not here a lot of the time. And just like let whatever's coming through come through, but it's like, it's not me. Because I'm not, I don't know if this is coming across in the right way, but it's just like, that's just the truth. It's just like, I'm okay just sitting in my room, like singing these songs, this music happening. And now, yeah. Yeah, I'm so happy to be able to feel it all.
Definitely. For sure. Now, one thing I want to discuss with you is being a Canadian band.
Yes.
How much does it mean to you to break into the States? I mean, you play this area a lot, Niagara Falls, Buffalo area, Detroit. Those are border towns. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, is it hard for Canadian artists to come and break through? I mean, Billy Talent, I seen him open up for Guns N' Roses over the summer, and then I see him play the same venue as you. They were just here 2 months ago. You know what I mean? Tragically Hip is another great example. I see them play arenas here. When I was in Las Vegas, they played off the strip in Henderson at a small casino instead of MGM Grand or something like that. You know what I mean? Is the process for you breaking into America important, or are you happy with where you are as being one of the biggest bands in Canada?
Mm-hmm. Excellent question. When I was away at the monastery on New Year's, the word that kept coming into my mind was expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a saying in our mission statement in our band is to fill faces full of smiles,
right,
hearts full of joy, passports full of stamps, and bank accounts full of money, and in that order. And the objective is as much of each as possible. As many faces full of smiles, as many hearts full of joy, as many stamps and passports, and as much money in our bank accounts. And Canada only has a population of 30 million people.
Right.
So there's only so many faces full of smiles we can fill in Canada.
Right.
I know so many hearts full of joy. And so, yeah, it's fundamentally crucial that we expand into the United States. We have a big release in Germany that's I'm just like wide open. I'm just like, take me.
Right.
I'm like, take me and do whatever you need to do with me to make people smile, to bring joy out of their hearts. Mm-hmm. To, everything we've been discussing. It's just like, it's coming through the music. And a lot of people are feeling it too.
Definitely.
A lot of people are feeling it too. And this isn't even about me. I want to make a ton of money because there's quadrillions of dollars in the world. Somebody needs to have it. And I want to do good things with it. So give me as much of it as possible so I can build a YMCA in a small town in Ontario. Do you know what I mean? Yes, yeah. I'd like to live a comfortable life.
Definitely.
Because I'd like to live in the woods and have a river beside my house and grow my own vegetables. Yes, universe, God, give me enough money to do that.
Right.
I love doing this, but also give me $100 million so I can build YMCAs all over the place so people can feel good and exercise and feel like they have a community and they're together, not isolated and alone. Sad.
Yeah.
So sorry, I know that was a roundabout way to answer your question, but yes, population 300 million, United States, come on, here we go.
Mm-hmm. What are your plans to break through? Do you have any, I see July Talks playing in Bonnaroo. So, I mean, they're going to be opening up at a huge festival on a smaller stage. I mean, have you guys ever thought about taking the approach of hitting up some of the bigger festivals that are around the area?
That's, our manager should be here any minute. I can sit him down and you can talk to him because that's his domain. We've had a relative degree of success at radio in the U.S.
Definitely
with our song Yin Yang, and I think that this album has the right thing. I think it took us 5 albums for the right. I don't know, when you're playing Battleship, when it's E6, E7, E8. So I think that we have finally found those Battleship pieces.
Now, in the beginning of our conversation, you mentioned that you started this before the Facebook era, before everything like that. But right now, you're at a time in your career where all that is so important to the age. I mean, you ain't going to see a kid in the crowd without a phone in their hand at one point in time, either tweeting or videoing you, or, you know what I mean? So how much of that aspect comes in the back of your mind on a daily basis? I mean, are you very social media active? Are you into that whole kind of thing? I mean,
I like to be by myself most of the time, and I don't have a single social media platform. I did the smart thing, like I discussed at the beginning of our conversation, and I went and shacked myself up with a social media master, an absolute wizard who, before Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, was human Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, who is the most extraordinarily cheerful, optimistic, energetic extrovert that can possibly exist. And he met me, and he's like, you need me and I need you.
Right.
You're the message and I'm the messenger. And he kept saying all of these things, and I'm just like, yes, 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 yes. And so, I'll send him some pictures from my meanderings, because people are interested in your life. Um, but but that's not me resisting technology and resisting change. It's just me knowing how I like to be, and at the same time, like you said, knowing that this is what's going on in the world. So just partner up with somebody who loves that.
Now, we briefly talked about yin yang and the success that it had.
Yeah.
Would you say that the band itself is a yin yang?
Cool. Could you put our picture beside the word yin yang in the dictionary?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the reason why we are who we are. People are on Jay's side of the stage doing keg stands and going crazy, and people are over here that have like just come from a retreat in the woods and like finally understood how many ways the fact that their dad didn't pay attention to them when they were a kid has completely informed almost every choice that they've made in their lives.
I mean, like I said, yeah, when you watch the show, you could definitely see, you see him doing handstands, backflips, and, you know what I mean? And you're standing your ground and, same, just doing your thing. And, it's you can definitely see it's a different aspect on both sides of the stage. But it all fits together.
That's the beauty of the whole thing, and to pull our whole conversation like a PhD does when they write a paper, which is the difference between a doctor and a crazy person in the psych ward. Is the crazy person in the psych ward just has a whole flurry of disconnected ideas, but now if we pull this conversation full circle, which has had a lot of different ideas in it, we can pull it together and say we can have a crowd of people here where they're doing keg stands and they're having a profound realization about the nature of their own psychology and behavior, but they're all there together without judgment of each other. Because maybe these people don't have anything they got to figure out. They're just loving their lives.
Right.
And maybe these people over here are finally going to get a chance to love their lives. Whatever way that you had to get there, like that's how you got there. And then we're all here together.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I see that everything's starting to come together here on the stage. You guys will be performing in a few hours.
Yes.
New Word Alphabet is available on iTunes, Amazon, your website itself. I believe there's links for everything like that.
Good old Spotify.
How do you feel about Spotify?
Apple Music.
Do you like that?
I accept life. I accept the things that I can't change. I accept the fact that record labels let Spotify happen before they did, which means they let somebody else dictate, the monetary return on your product. Musicians, artists will always say like, hey, you're a roofer. How would you feel if one day everybody said, I'm only going to pay you 10 cents to put my roof on my house? You go, well, like, it's like, well, unfortunately, I can't. Like, we can petition, we can lobby, we can petition the government, we can try to say, hey, can we change the standards a bit here? Because unless people really value music, like, it's going to get harder and harder to make it if we can't make money from it. So I just count my blessings every single day that I'm able to have the wherewithal to come to a place like this and sing and perform, and people want to come and have that experience, and that can support my life. I pray for people who create that they can't necessarily perform as well as they can create, that somehow their music, it gets their music out there.
Right, definitely.
And accepting that your music is now a marketing tool more than it is, a viable means of supporting your life. It can be a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but you just have to accept that this is where we're at.
Yeah.
And everything always changes, and we'll see what happens next.
and the main way to support an artist this day and age is go ahead and see them on tour. The tour kicked off 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And you guys are going for another 2 months solid, is what I'm looking at there at least.
Yeah, we're going the distance.
And then I'm sure there's going to be some stuff throughout the summer.
Yeah, we're gonna have lots of festival dates coming up. We're heading over to Germany. Because they are very excited for workshoes.
Yeah,
we're going to your workshoes. I'm German too, so It'll be pretty neat.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You ever been to the homeland?
We've been a couple of times to do some shows. This is going to be our first proper release.
Awesome.
Full steam release. I needed to share an incredible moment last night we played at St. Andrew's Hall in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Downstairs is the shelter where like Eminem got his start. And then above it is St. Andrew's Hall, which is a big, majestic, beautiful, built in 1871 building such as this one.
Right.
That every big band you can imagine has played there. Like, so a couple of years ago, we played in the shelter down in the basement for like 200 people. I think MGMT was playing like the next night upstairs, and I was just like, okay, what do we got to do? Okay, like I want to be up there. Like I want just like, I know we got to earn it, but like we got to get up there. So last night we got up there.
Awesome.
And last night we played for 1,000 people.
Good for you, man.
We played for 1,000 people, and I was standing in the dressing room, and there's a Nirvana poster. St. Andrew's Hall, just like.
Right. Full circle for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First time I heard about a girl, and it was just like, picked up my stepdad's guitar and played E and G.
Awesome, man. Good for you. And the website themselves, everyone wants to keep track. They want to go for the tour dates. They want to see any new singles, any new videos.
Yeah.
Is it?
USSmusic.com.
Okay.
We just put out a super high, like, trippy video for our new single, Who's With Me.
Yes, I've seen it. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. It zooms out from the cellular level to 2 times the size of the known universe. So, you know, feel like a trip, go check it out.
All right, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, 1, 2, get.
Can you shoot me an ID real quick?
Yeah.
And it's
One second, Doug.
Sofa King Cool Magazine.
Okay, so what was I going to say?
Say, hey, this is such and such.
Yeah.
You're watching.
Selfie King Cool.
Sofa.
King Cool
Did
Magazine.
you say it fast?
Sofa King Cool Magazine.
So fucking cool.
Sofa Cool.
So fucking cool. Sofa King. It's the old joke. Remember when you were a kid, you ever see?
So fucking cool.
Yeah, Sofa King Cool. If it says fast.
Sofa King Cool.
Yeah.
Sofa King Cool
Magazine.
Magazine. Hey, how are you? It's Ash. I am on Sofa King Cool Magazine.
Perfect. Thanks, man.
You're so welcome.
I really appreciate it.